as they intend to file a federal civil rights lawsuit. Thanks so much for joining us, and happy Friday. I'm Dee Griffin.
And I'm John Hart. As always, thanks for sticking around for WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30. Top of your headlines at the bottom of the hour, a video of an altercation between a man and an 18-year-old in Aiken has gone viral. You can see why. This happened at the Circle K on Whiskey Road. According to witnesses, Paul Osborne there in the blue t-shirt yelled insults at some teens because of their trucks. The video allegedly shows him, assuming that's him. There's somebody punches somebody here. We do know that much. The warrants have been issued for Osborne.
The man accused of shooting his ex-girlfriend has officially been charged with murder. The charges against Jaden Ross came after 20-year-old Brynlee Kitchens died yesterday afternoon. Kitchens was shot in the face at a home in Hephzibah on Wednesday night.
And day 6 now in the search for 2 missing boaters on Clarks Hill Lake. DNR says sonar picked up on something yesterday, but hasn't said exactly what that is. Crews say they will be back out searching this weekend.
Growing outrage after a man in California died while being restrained by officers. Many people are likening the case to that of George Floyd. Marcy Gonzalez reports.
The lawyer for Mario Gonzalez's family says they plan to file a federal civil rights lawsuit against the Alameda Police Department after the 26-year-old died while being taken into custody last week. One officer pinning him down with a knee to his back.
He was harmless. He hadn't threatened anybody. And, he just wasn't a danger.
It began April 19th with calls to 911 reporting a suspected theft and a seemingly disturbed man.
There's a man in my front yard kind of talking to himself.
Officers' body cameras recording as they approach Gonzalez, who appears to be incoherent but not aggressive. Officers point out the alcohol in those baskets.
I'm concerned about this open container.
And try to lead him away.
Come over here. We don't want you to fall down, okay?
When they try to handcuff him, Gonzalez resists. You hear officers trying to calm him down.
It's okay, Mario. Oh my gosh. We're going to take care of you, okay?
One officer appears to put his knee on Gonzalez's back. It stays there for more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Think we can roll him on the side? I don't want to lose what I got, man.
15 seconds later, they realize Gonzalez is no longer moving.
We have no weight on his chest.
They attempt CPR, but Gonzalez later dies at the hospital, leaving behind a 4-year-old son. 3 officers are now on paid administrative leave as the district attorney and sheriff's office investigate. The Alameda Police Department promising full transparency.
The Alameda Police Department needs to explain why a perfectly healthy man who was never charged with a crime was killed in their custody.
They don't have the right to kill him. We humans. We're not cockroaches.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Lawmakers on both sides in Washington say they are eager to pass some form of federal police reform. President Biden calling on Congress to pass what he calls meaningful reforms by May 25th, the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. Illinois Democrat Tammy Duckworth says the bill could bring real change.
It provides for independent review when there's a police officer involved shooting or death, so that it's not the local district attorney's office.
Her fellow Democrat from Illinois, Dick Durbin, says Democrats and Republicans remain divided over qualified immunity. That's the legal doctrine that shields officers from lawsuits.
8 men have been indicted in the alleged hazing death of a Bowling Green State University student. The Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity members facing a range of charges from hazing and evidence tampering to first-degree manslaughter. 20-year-old Stone Foltz died last month from alcohol poisoning following an off-campus fraternity initiation event. Tests showed that Foltz had a blood alcohol content of 0.35 when he died.
Here we are, hard to believe, right? It's the last day of April. Goodness gracious, April 30th. But we have ourselves a really nice weekend headed our way, the first weekend in May. Temperatures this afternoon are really nice. Temperatures in the 80s. We had a little bit more cloud cover than anticipated, so therefore we didn't quite make the upper 80s. But let's take a look at our current readings. And 81 is where we're at now, 77 in Aiken, 83 in Millen, 85 in Sylvania. A little bit more sunshine for y'all. And then there's that northwest wind today, up to about 20 miles per hour. So certainly it's been a breezy afternoon. It will continue to be so pretty much for the rest of the evening. I think we'll see some breezy conditions. Boy, you know, back in the day, I used to know my planes. I loved 727, 737. I don't know. What is this, John? Is 777?
Sure.
I just get on them and ride them. I don't know.
Dita says, I don't care. Buckle up. I'm going for the ride. Anyway, of course, that's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta, where we have skies that are pretty much like ours, a mix of sunshine and clouds. All right, so here's the two-state view. Notice the clearing skies up near Chattanooga. That's where high pressure is located in Wisconsin. It's pushing all the clouds to the south, so we'll finally break into some clearing skies a little bit later on tonight. 78 by 7 o'clock. The clouds will keep us a little warmer until they disperse, and once they do that, that's when we'll see low 50s for tomorrow morning. And tomorrow, it's the day, James Brown Block Party right there, downtown James Brown Boulevard, 82 degrees, gorgeous day. I mean, would be expecting anything else? Feeling great. Feeling good. Northeast wind around 5 miles per hour. We'll look at the rest of our forecast for the weekend, and we'll talk about the humidity that's returning for next week in just a few minutes.
All right, Tim, thanks a lot. President Biden is on the road making a push for his massive infrastructure package called the American Jobs Plan. The president's proposals are meeting stiff resistance from Republicans in Congress who say the price tags are too high. Elizabeth Schultze reports.
After unveiling his ambitious agenda to Congress totaling more than $4 trillion in federal spending,
doing nothing is not an option.
President Biden is hitting the road and rails to sell his infrastructure plan to the American people.
Today we have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to make investments that can help America get back on track, no pun intended.
The president in Philadelphia today marking the 50th anniversary of his beloved Amtrak. His $2 trillion American Jobs Plan includes $80 billion to rebuild passenger and freight service, along with hundreds of billions for roads and bridges, plus broadband internet, clean drinking water, and renewable energy. Other cabinet members sprawling out across the country to tout the package as a jobs bill.
This is the largest investment in American jobs since World War II.
To pay for his proposals, which also include investments in universal pre-K, childcare, and paid family leave, the president wants to raise taxes on corporations and wealthy Americans earning more than $400,000 a year. An idea unlikely to win any support from Republicans.
He clearly believes that he can tax, spend, and regulate our country into prosperity.
But the White House says issues like infrastructure have bipartisan support from the American public, pointing to polls showing that a majority of voters support the president's plan. Republican senators have put forward their own infrastructure plan worth $568 billion. That's about a quarter the size of the president's. Biden indicated if that's their final number, it's a non-starter. Elizabeth Schultze, ABC News, Washington.
Former New York City mayor and attorney for President Trump, Rudy Giuliani, making his first public comments since federal agents raided his apartment. According to the New York Times, at least one of the warrants was related to former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, who was removed from her post by the Trump administration back in 2019. Giuliani describing that abrupt wake-up call at 6 a.m. on Wednesday when investigators seized electronics, including his cell phone and computer.
There was a big bang, bang, bang on the door, and outside were seven FBI agents with a warrant for electronics. And I looked at the warrant and I said, you know, this is extraordinary because I've offered to give these to the government and talk it over with the government for 2 years.
Giuliani's lawyer expected to put up a fight in a statement saying the items seized are covered by attorney-client privilege.
There are optimistic signs the U.S. is reaching a turning point in its battle against the coronavirus pandemic. The CDC says that 26 states now reporting a decline in new COVID-19 cases. The CDC reports 30% of the U.S. is now fully vaccinated, and now Dr. Anthony Fauci says he's hopeful all children could be vaccinated by the end of this year or early 2022.
Anti-smoking groups celebrating the FDA's newest push to ban menthol cigarettes, and so are civil rights groups. Those groups say the tobacco industry has targeted the black community for decades. One health nonprofit has pushed for a ban for more than 30 years. 85% of black smokers buy menthol, and health advocates say the ban is long overdue.
Menthol is cooler, it's soother. It makes the poison, the tobacco poison, go down easier because it's not as harsh. And without menthol in cigarettes, a lot of African Americans have said that they would quit smoking in general.
FDA plans to introduce the new regulations in the coming year and ask for public comment, but facing legal challenges, the ban could still be years away. Still to come, it is Derby weekend.
Plus, a local auto detail shop has some very famous clients. Hear why next. Welcome back. Time now for a look at what's trending. Disneyland is reopening at limited capacity today, more than a year after shutting down because of the pandemic. Visitors need to make reservations in advance. Guests older than 2 must wear face coverings, and temperature screenings are required before entering the park. Now, for now, admission is limited to only California residents.
So I think it's safe to say that, it's officially spring when it's the Masters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have to put the Kentucky Derby in there as one of the other rites of spring, definitely. So we held 2 Masters tournaments in 5 months. Tomorrow we'll make 2 Kentucky Derbies in 7 months. Spectators will be back at Churchill Downs for tomorrow's running of the Derby, which moves from September back to its traditional spot on the first Saturday in May. They postponed last year, just like the Masters did for COVID. 100,000 spectators expected at the famed Louisville track tomorrow. Essential Quality is the favorite at 2-1, but keep an eye on Known Agenda. 6-1. Known Agenda. Starting from the inside rail, not a good spot. Nobody's won there since 1986, but watch Known Agenda.
You did your research.
My favorite name, by the way, Rock Your World.
Oh,
at 5-1.
Well, I'll be watching. I love to see the hats.
I figured you were more into the hats than
no,
the
I like
odds.
the race as well.
Yeah.
I watch, but I love to see those hats.
Make yourself a mint julep and enjoy.
Yes.
This week, an auto detail shop in Aiken working with some clients whose names you might recognize.
Newschannel 6's Mary Calkins has the story.
Rock and Design Detail Shop has customized countless pickup trucks for country music stars in Nashville. And today they're working on the Buck truck for the stars of the show, Buck Commander.
Lee Fulmer has a star-studded list of clients.
We do a lot of business in Nashville for a lot of different country artists. We've done them for Jason Aldean, Kane Brown, Morgan Wallen, Devin Dawson, Craig Campbell, and a lot of other artists as well.
And this week, the team at Rock and Design is commissioned to customize trucks for the cast of Buck Commander.
Buck Commander was started by Willie Robertson of Duck Dynasty, and he started another company for buck hunting, and he's got several members that are in that club with him, which are Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, and several other baseball players that have retired from Major League Baseball.
Fulmer and his team are creating the Buck Truck, which will be exclusive to dealerships in the Southeast and the Buck Commander castmates.
And these are the prototypes that we're doing. So one truck's going to be for Tombo Martin, and the truck on the other side is for country superstar Luke Bryan.
And the entire customization process is being filmed for an episode of the show.
We've been filming all week long. It's been really cool. They've been in our face with cameras and, catching all kinds of shots all week long.
Fulmer says building trucks is his passion and the way he's making his Nashville dreams come true.
I can't sing, but I can build a bad truck. So I've always loved country music, and it's been a passion of mine to get into Nashville, and I've never given up. It's been neat to be able to film a TV show here in Aiken, and who knows where the future's going, but it's only one way to go, and that's up.
The owner says this episode of Buck Commander is expected to air sometime in the fall. In Aiken, Mary Calkins, WJBF News Channel 6.
That is so cool.
I can't sing or build a truck, so that's why I'm sitting here four times a day.
I can watch it on TV, though.
That you can't do. And I looked it up. I'm not a big deer hunting guy, but the baseball players he referenced, former Braves Adam LaRoche and Ryan Langerhans, if you're, into that sort of, if you're a Braves fan, you remember those names.
Well, I'm just happy to see all of the little hidden secrets, little great things, little gems we have locally. That's awesome.
It's always amazing how many national things we have here in Augusta. All right, Tim Miller's forecast for the weekend coming up.